Next, mini story series.
For the race. Let's get started. It was 5 o'clock, and Alan was riding his motorcycle in San Francisco.
Oh,
When was Alan riding his motorcycle?
it's 5 o'clock.
Well, at 5 o'clock, right? At 5 o'clock, Alan was riding his motorcycle. Was Alan riding his car,
No,
or was Alan
riding his motorcycle.
Well, of course, Alan was riding his motorcycle. Where was Alan riding his motorcycle?
San Francisco.
In San Francisco.
Alan was riding his motorcycle in San Francisco.
When was he riding?
At 5 o'clock.
At 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock,
Alan was riding his motorcycle in San
in
Francisco.
San Francisco. He was riding down Van Ness Street and
Oh,
came to a stoplight.
oh,
Who was riding down Van Ness Street?
Alan was riding down
Alan was
Van
riding
Ness
down
Street.
Van Ness Street. What was he riding on?
On his motorcycle.
On a motorcycle. He was riding on his
Mor-
motorcycle. Was he riding down Market Street?
No, he was riding down
No,
Van Ness
not
Street.
Market Street. He wasn't riding down Market Street. Was he riding down Lombard Street?
No, he wasn't riding down
No, he wasn't
Lombard
riding
Street.
down Lombard Street. He was riding down
Van Ness
Van
Street.
Ness Street. When? When was he riding down
At
Van
5
Ness
o'clock.
Street?
At 5 o'clock.
At 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, he was riding down Van Ness Street. Who was riding down Van Ness Street
Alan
at 5 o'clock?
was riding down Van Ness Street in San Francisco.
Alan was riding down Van Ness Street at 5 o'clock. Was he in a truck?
No, in a,
No, he wasn't in
on
a truck.
motors-
He was
on
on
motorcycle.
his motorcycle. And he came to a stoplight.
Oh.
Did Alan come to a go light?
No, Alan came to stoplight.
No. He didn't come to a go light. He came to a stoplight.
Stoplight.
We never say go light. We
Yes.
only say stoplight. Who came to a stoplight?
Alan came to a stoplight.
Alan, of course. Alan came to a stoplight. What was he on when he came to a stoplight?
On a motorcycle. On his
A
motorcycle.
motorcycle. He was on a motorcycle when he came to a stoplight. Where was the stoplight?
Van Ness Street in San
Well,
Francisco.
on Van Ness Street. The stoplight was on Van Ness
Street.
Street. Was the stoplight on Embarcadero Street?
No,
Or was the stoplight on Van Ness Street?
stoplight was on Van Ness Street.
Of course, Van Ness. The stoplight was on Van
Van Ness
Ness Street. Who was at the stoplight?
Alan was at stoplight.
Alan was at the stoplight. Which city was Alan in? In San Francisco, of course.
In San Francisco.
Alan was in San
Alan was
Francisco.
in San Francisco.
Where is Van Ness?
Van Ness was
Well,
San
Van Ness
Francisco.
Street is in San Francisco. Of
Van
course.
Ness
Van Ness Street
was
is in
is
San
in
Francisco.
San Francisco.
Is Van Ness Street in New York?
No.
Or is Van Ness Street in San Francisco?
Van Ness Street in San Francisco.
Well, of course, Van Ness Street is in
Is
San
in-
Francisco. Where was Alan riding? He was riding
San Francisco.
on Van Ness Street in
San
San
Francisco.
Francisco. And he came to a stoplight. A red Ferrari pulled up next to him.
Oh,
Did the red Ferrari pull up behind him?
no. A red Ferrari pulled up
No,
next to
not
him.
behind him. The red Ferrari pulled
Pulled up next to him.
to him. What pulled up next to Alan?
A red Ferrari.
A red Ferrari. A
Red Ferrari
pulled
pulled up next to Alan.
Did Alan pull up next to a red Ferrari?
No. A red Ferrari pulled up next to Alan.
Alan didn't pull up next to a red Ferrari. A red Ferrari
Pulled up next to Alan.
him. Where did the red Ferrari pull up next to Alan?
In San Francisco.
At a stoplight
Also.
on Van Ness Street. At a stoplight on Van Ness Street, a red Ferrari pulled up next to Alan. Was Alan in a red Ferrari? No. Alan wasn't
was
in
a-
a red Ferrari. He
Alan was
on
on
a
his motorcycle.
Alan was on a motorcycle. What did the red Ferrari do?
A red Ferrari pulled up next to Alan.
It pulled up next to Alan. The red Ferrari pulled up
Next
to Alan. The driver was wearing dark sunglasses.
Oh,
So, Alan was wearing dark sunglasses.
no. The driver
not Alan.
was
Alan wasn't
wearing dark
dark
sunglasses.
Who was wearing dark sunglasses?
The driver was wearing dark
The
sunglasses.
driver of the Ferrari. The driver of the Ferrari was wearing dark sunglasses.
The driver
Not
of
Alan.
Ferrari.
The driver looked over at Alan.
Oh,
Did the driver look behind Alan?
no. The driver looked
No.
toward Alan.
He looked over at Alan.
He
Who
looked.
looked over at Alan? The driver of the Ferrari looked
Looked
over at
Alan.
Alan. Did Alan look over at the driver?
No. Alan looked.
Yes, he did. Alan also looked over at
Us.
the driver. Who was the driver?
The driver is Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise was the driver. Alan looked over at the driver and realized that the driver was Tom Cruise.
Oh,
Who was the driver of the Ferrari?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise was the driver of the Ferrari. Who was the motorcycle rider Alan. Alan was the motorcycle
Motorcycle.
rider,
Drive.
and Tom Cruise was the driver of the Ferrari. Who looked over at Alan?
Tom Cruise
Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise
looked over at Alan.
What was Tom Cruise wearing?
Tom Cruise was wearing dark sunglasses.
Tom Cruise was wearing
Dark sunglasses.
dark sunglasses. Was Alan wearing dark sunglasses?
No, Alan
No, he
wasn't
Alan wasn't
wearing dark sunglasses.
dark sunglasses.
Tom Cruise was wearing dark
dark
sunglasses.
sunglasses. And he looked over at Alan. Tom sneered at Alan.
Oh,
Oh no. Did Tom smile?
no, Tom sneered at
No,
Alan.
he didn't. Tom didn't smile. He sneered
Sneer at Alan.
Was Tom friendly and nice?
No, Tom sneered at
he
Alan.
wasn't friendly and
Wasn't
nice.
friendly
He
and nice.
sneered at Alan. Did Alan sneer at Tom Cruise? Or did Tom Cruise sneer at Alan?
Tom Cruise sneered at Alan.
Well, Tom Cruise sneered at Alan. After he sneered, what did Tom Cruise say?
She said,
He
when the
said,
light
When
turned
the light turns
green,
green,
let's
let's
race.
race. After he sneered at Alan, Tom Cruise said, when the light turned green,
let's race.
Did Tom want to race?
Yes,
Yes, of course, of course. He has a Ferrari. He wanted to race. Alan said, all right, you're on.
oh,
Did Alan agree to race Tom?
yes, Alan
Yes,
Agree.
he agreed. He agreed. He said, you're on.
Gerard.
Did Tom say, you're on?
No, Alan said,
No,
you're
Tom didn't say, you're on. Alan
Alan
said,
said,
you're on. Alan agreed to race. Who said, you're on?
Alan said, you're on.
Alan. Alan said, you're on. What did Alan agree to do? Well, to race. Alan agreed to race Tom.
Alan
He said,
agreed
"You're
to
on."
race Tom.
Tom said, I'm gonna smoke you, sucker.
Oh,
Did Tom say he would beat Alan?
yes.
Yes, he did. He said,
He said,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
smoke
smoke you, sucker.
I'm gonna beat you.
The same, I'm gonna beat
Did
you.
Tom say he would win? Yes, he said he would win. He said, I'm gonna smoke you.
Was
Who was Tom gonna smoke?
Alan.
Alan. Tom was gonna smoke Alan. Was Tom gonna smoke Schwarzenegger?
No, Tom.
No, no, no. No, Tom wasn't gonna smoke Arnold Schwarzenegger. Tom was gonna smoke Alan.
Alan.
Was Tom gonna smoke Alan at football, soccer?
No. The race.
No. He wasn't gonna smoke Alan at football or soccer. He was gonna smoke Alan in a
And
race.
In the race.
In a race. He was